News 17 with Bruce Richardson, Monica Schneider, Bob Kevern with the weather, and Kim Lepak with the sports. Now, live, this is News 17.
Good evening, I'm Bruce Richardson.
And I'm Monica Schneider. Some people on the east side of Freeport had to be evacuated today. The Pecatonica River overflowed its banks and flooded their homes. But while a few left, most are staying and pumping to keep the water levels in their basements from rising too high. The Pecatonica is expected to crest soon, but as one homeowner I talked to live at 6 o'clock pointed out, the residents will still have to hang in there probably at least until week's end.
If the river crests tonight, we'll probably pump for 2 more days, and then that'll be about the end of it. It's usually, when it goes down low enough that the sewer will take it, then we can quit pumping.
The word from the Stevenson County Sheriff's Department is that the Pecatonica is at nearly a 15.7-foot water level this evening, 2.7 feet past flood stage. As for other area rivers, the Kishwaukee at Perryville Road is almost 13 feet high, a foot over flood level. The Rock River is just past 11 feet near Rockton. Flood stage was 10 feet there. Here in Rockford, the Rock's about 13.5 feet, which is flood level. Officials are expecting all of the rivers to crest tomorrow, probably between 1 and 2 feet over their flood levels.
America's farmers can thank Republicans who crossed over party lines with the help Congress voted them today. Both the House and the Senate passed measures funneling more relief to the indebted farmers. 2 reports.
Heart and soul of the United States of America is rural America. Rural America. Forget David Stockman.
Organizers here say they invited President Reagan, but the White House never got back to them. They did not invite Budget Director David Stockman. Outside, there was a homemade coffin with Stockman's name on it. Inside, he was hanging in effigy. He would not want to run out of gas in Ames, Iowa.
We want to send a message to David Stockman. He has awakened the sleeping giant, American agriculture.
They came from all over the country to hear a message most of them are all too familiar with. America's farmers are going broke, and they're not going to take it anymore.
And when you point the finger, we just will point the finger from the top down. Let's point the finger at President Reagan.
And these are mild-mannered, patriotic farmers, like this group from Mount Ayr, Iowa. At least 23 farmers went bankrupt here last year, and 20 businesses went out of business, including a bank. This feed store closes tomorrow. John Severson, NBC News, Mount Ayr, Iowa.
If the president looked out his window this morning, he could see crosses placed by members of Congress and symbolizing farmers out of business. A symbol also of the emotional appeals being made on Capitol Hill. Vice President Bush was on hand to lobby and, if necessary, break a Senate tie. But it quickly became clear it wouldn't be close as Republicans from the vice president's own party defected to vote with the Democrats. Farm state Democrats like Zorinsky of Nebraska argued that extra money is needed to help farmers. Majority Leader Dole knew before the debate began he didn't have the votes to defeat Zorinsky's amendment. It was just too emotional and politically charged an issue. Dole said sarcastically, "We've demonstrated we don't care about deficit reduction. Politics has overridden concern about the deficit." But Andrews of North Dakota, one of 7 farm state Republicans who deserted Dole, rejected that argument.
And what it would cost this nation to lose the productive capacity of 5 or 10% of their farmers would be a much greater figure than what this loan guarantee bill is going to cost.
But the fact remains that the first time this year a powerful special interest with a serious problem came to Congress and demanded help, Congress gave in. John Dancy, NBC News at the U.S. Capitol.
Governor Thompson calls it his Illinois Better Schools program, and he unveiled it in Springfield today. The idea is to give Illinois schools $330 million in new education funds, but there's a condition. Schools must come up with tougher standards for teachers and students.
I propose that we fight harder to eradicate the stain of narcotics from our schools and that we lower the age threshold in our criminal sentencing laws. To do it, I propose that we take the troublemakers out of our schools so that well-behaved children have a chance to learn in a decent atmosphere. I would establish a statewide system of alternative schools for those with serious discipline problems, and I would spend $13 million in the next year to do it.
The governor also said good students come from good teachers with good salaries.
In Illinois today, we ask teachers to begin their careers at a median salary level which is only $75 a week over the current federal poverty level. in order to train our children to find jobs that will pay them much more. An extraordinary indictment of our values system.
To finance his Better Schools program, the governor is calling for a hike in cigarette taxes and a 5% levy on interstate phone calls.
May seem hard to believe, but there are estimates that at least 25 million Americans can't read or write. Here in Illinois, 2 million residents are estimated to be illiterate. In an effort to tackle the problem, Secretary of State and State Librarian Jim Edgar have announced a $5,000 grant for the Northern Illinois Library System in Rockford. The money is to be used for the purchase of high-interest, low-level books for adults learning to read. Those books will be available at colleges and public libraries throughout the Northern Illinois Library System, which encompasses a 12-county area.
The odds aren't in Rockford's favor when it comes to getting the General Motors Saturn plant, but despite the odds, Rockford has its bid in Detroit tonight and with the Illinois Department of Commerce and Community Affairs in Chicago. Gordon Boyd reports that there are those that feel we have a chance.
Number of people that
they're selling us as we're Rockford and we're ready. A news conference this morning stressed ready as together. 10 men behind the podium representing the Chamber of Commerce, Mayor McNamara, Rock Valley College, city and county departments, and hospitals.
It works. And the fact of the matter is we took a big risk and we expanded it all across the county, and we're finding that now it's even working even better.
The deal, if Saturn comes, Rockford buys the land, lays the water pipe, installs the sewers. Cost $15.5 million. The site, 1,020 acres on the southwest side, west of Centerville Road to Meridian, south of Illinois Central Railroad to Kelly Road. 13 farmers involved. Rockford either would buy their land outright or, quote, relocate them should they want to farm elsewhere. No small risk, but rumors persist that Saturn's bidding war may be a smokescreen, that General Motors might just stay in Detroit.
But I don't think it's a charade that's going on. Certainly, we don't look at it from that, I suppose, cynical point of view.
The dark side remains whether the gain is worth all the pain. That when the battle for Saturn is done, it'll be like a fight among scorpions. The losers will be dead, and the winner will be exhausted. Gordon Boyd, Channel 17 News.
They come in all sizes, and they can be harmful to the health of your car.
Next on Channel 17 News.
If you're driving down the road and feel part of your car thumped down to a lower level, Jennifer Streisand is here to tell you it's pothole season.
A familiar sight, no doubt, but whether you're the type that swerves around them or plows right through them, you can't miss the big, ugly potholes.
How bad are the potholes?
Well, you can see them yourself. They're right down here. You can't miss them. You can't go past them without hitting them.
This is a real bad neighborhood. This is real bad. If you notice the cars coming down this side of the street, they're all over in the other lane.
This is a factory neighborhood, and residents say it gets really bad when everyone's going to work in the morning. But potholes plague the entire city, and everyone has to deal with it.
On my route, which is South Main and Charles Street, they're not too awfully bad. Maybe on Charles Street there's a few bad spots.
The city says it's working on it.
For the last 10 days, we've had between 6 and 8 crews out each day patching the potholes. In addition, we have been working overtime. Last Saturday, we had 4 crews out. We will continue to do this as long as we have a problem.
Spear says potholes are par for the season, but crews say it's worse this year.
I don't know why. Maybe it's due to the rainfall we've had, and this time of year, the freezing and the thawing situation we've had.
Whatever you do, be careful on the road. You can bet the potholes will be back next spring, but as Ralph Spear says, it's just Mother Nature. Jennifer Streisand, Channel 17 News.
The plastic on your Money Network card stretched a bit further today to gasoline and grocery purchases. It's nothing new to DeKalb and Freeport, and this afternoon, Rock Valley Network brought it to Rockford. The Roadrunner convenience store is one of 12 city locations where you can go cashless by charging your bank account.
For 6 months, we're going to test it out. If the equipment works as well as we expect it to, we may very well expand the number of locations before the end of that 6-month period. Hopefully, within a year, you'll be able to use your Money Network card all over town.
I think we'll also have new customers because being the pilot, we'll be the first to have the Money Network card and our competitors won't. So in that case, and we'll also have our regular customers a little more happier with the services that we provide now.
It's possible that the Money Network card may stretch even more soon to department store shopping, for instance.
Over $18,000 has been raised here in the Rockford area for famine victims in Ethiopia. The Red Cross made the announcement at Bloom School today. And the third grade class of Mrs. Cole played an important role in the famine relief campaign. All the kids did extra chores to help raise money, and the idea started with Wendy Weiss.
Really poor, and I wanted them to have some food because I hate to see them dying. And I really feel sorry for them.
Nationwide, the Red Cross has managed to raise $14 million for African famine relief, but the campaign isn't over yet. Contributions are still being accepted.
Well, he's saying sunshine and warmer.
That's what Bob Cameron's forecast is all about in a minute.
We've all heard of London fog, but I hear other parts of the continent were hit today.
They certainly were. Fog is really getting to be a problem in some areas. Dense fog shrouded parts of West Europe today, causing hundreds of chain reaction car crashes, which killed at least 4 people. There were 2 separate incidents in West Germany. In one, about 150 cars piled up. In another, 50 cars crashed. In Belgium, there was a massive mess that involved at least 175 cars. In yet another case, 5 trucks caught fire after smashing up. Things were much calmer here at home. 36 degrees for our high reading, 22 for a low last night. Right now we have 30 degrees in Rockford, and we have 31 degrees at this hour in Dixon. Freeport reports 31, 28 in Belvedere, 30 degrees in Beloit, Rochelle at 31, and Janesville at 29. Humidity is 75% with the winds out of the south at 10, and the barometer, well, that's falling a little. Sun comes up at 6:36 tomorrow, sets tomorrow night at 5:44. Mild, warm Pacific air moving through the plain states into the Midwest. We'll feel it tomorrow with temperatures climbing up into the 40s for daytime highs. Meanwhile, all of this melting snow is really being felt with the streams and the rivers on the rise. The Rock River will crest tomorrow about 1.5 feet above flood stage. And the more warm weather will continue the snow melt so that it looks like by this time next week we'll probably have all of the snow gone here in the Rockford area, and there's rain forecast before the weekend will be over. Take a look at our color satellite picture and we'll show you what's going on. The jet streams indicate how the warm air is really building up in the south tonight, and what is happening is that the cold air is being pushed back. The real cold air is along the Canadian-U.S. border. It's raining and snowing tonight in the northwest, in the northeastern states rather, and rain tonight through the Gulf into the Texas Gulf Coast. Meanwhile, throughout most of the Midwestern states and the plains, it was a beautiful day, lots of sunshine. We'll see just about the same picture tomorrow here in the Rockford area, but it was snowing tonight from Montana down through Wyoming and into northern Colorado. Also some rain in West Texas reported. Do you know that it was 10 degrees at Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan today? That was the coldest high temperature reported in the USA. Nighttime lows tonight will be a little bit chilly here in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. However, the warm air is really holding now in the southern states, and a good spring pattern, strong spring pattern, has really developed in that part of the nation. For the rest of tonight, partly cloudy skies and 22 degrees for an overnight low. Sunshine tomorrow, up to 45 for a daytime high. On Friday, with partly cloudy skies, we'll see 50 degrees here in Rockford. Saturday, with sunshine, 55. Then Sunday, the rain comes in, it cools down to 39 degrees. Monday, variable cloudiness with a high of about 42. But all of next week, we'll see temperatures above normal for this time of the year. So once again now, we'll be dropping down to 22 tonight, up to 45 tomorrow. And right now, it's 30 degrees in Rockford.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to this good weather that's rolling our way.
Me
Thanks,
too.
Bob. Okay, Kim Lepak with highlights of tonight's Georgetown-St. John's game next.
Henry Cabot Lodge died tonight. He was 82. He had been a U.S. Senator, an ambassador, and an unsuccessful vice presidential candidate. 34 Illinois communities will be able to buy and develop outdoor recreation facilities under a federal grant totaling nearly $4 million. Rockford's share of the pie, $150,000. In sports, a mighty important college basketball game.
And it was pretty good. Unfortunately, though, the second half got to be a little bit of a blowout, and so did the end of the first half tonight. A big battle for the #1 ranking in college basketball tonight at Madison Square Garden between top-ranked St. John's and #2 Georgetown. Let's go to the highlights. St. John's in white on the break. The dish to Bill Wennington. Look at that. What a powerful slam. Then following a Georgetown miss, Walter Berry with the scoop pass to Chris Mullen. Michael Jackson knocks it down. Mullen picks it up and scores underneath a three-point play. The Hoyas play with plenty of intensity tonight. Look at the offensive rebound underneath by David Wingate. Georgetown then pulled away in the first half. Inside to Patrick Ewing and the slam. It snaps St. John's 19-game winning streak. Pressure D by the Hoyas and the slam by Reggie Williams. Final Georgetown 85, St. John's 69. At the Omni in Atlanta, 11th ranked North Carolina and 13th ranked Georgia Tech. Tech with a strong inside game. Dwayne Farrell slams in a missed shot. The Dogs, John Sally, a three-point play. They lead it early, 16-8. North Carolina's Brad Doherty hits the hook shot in the paint. They stayed in this game all the way. Georgia Tech, sharpshooter Mark Price from outside. The final, Georgia Tech 67, North Carolina 62. In the Big Ten, Northwestern at Michigan State, Rockford's Andre Good with a nice turnaround jumper. Then look at the sweep move by the Spartan Sam Vincent. He's the Big Ten's leading scorer. Good hits another pair from outside, but as they say, it wasn't good enough. The final, Michigan State 61, Northwestern 47. College scoreboard tonight, Duke 90, Clemson 73, Oklahoma 89, Oklahoma State 84, Texas Tech 59, SMU 54, Maryland 71, NC State 70, Louisiana State 78, Auburn 73, Bowling Green 90, Northern Illinois 79, Central Michigan 81, Kent State 69, Ohio U 64, Ball State 56, Western Michigan loses to Miami of Ohio 76-69, and Marquette 88, Valparaiso 46. In high school Class A regional basketball tonight, Mid-Northern Conference co-champion Winnebago beat Rockford Christian Life at Stillman Valley. And Winnebago in white, they work the ball inside to 6'3" forward Alan Ashe, and Coach Frank Lee says, yeah, that's the way to do it, guys. Brian Kroll then drills the short jumper for Bago. Of course, they won the regional and the sectional last year. They got a good ball club for the Christian Life Eagles. Nice pass inside to John Kitchen. Hey, there's food on the table in the kitchen tonight. Bago Steve Thurston looks, then decides to shoot it, and he hits it. The fans love it. Final, Winnebago 91, Rockford Christian 63. Here's the rest of some Class A regional scores we have tonight. Byron 68, Durand 38, Mount Morris 73, Ashton 54, Dakota 63, Freeport-Acquin 61, and in a low-scoring game, Harvard 20, Woodstock Marion Central 19, and that was the final. In the NBA tonight, the Chicago Bulls continue to have their problems on the road. They lost at Detroit, and again, the Bulls get off to a pretty good start. Michael Jordan with a steal, and Terry Tyler can only watch the pump, reverse, and slam. Jordan had 22 points. Jordan is then picked off by Isaiah Thomas. He goes down for the jam. Orlando Woolridge had 22 for the Bulls. He hits from outside. They led it by 10 there, but the Bulls have now lost 10 straight on the road. Final, Detroit 108 and the Bulls 99. NBA tonight, the Bucks lead Utah 74-70 in the third quarter. Boston 111, San Antonio 102, New Jersey 114, Atlanta 91. It's Denver 124, Washington 111, Indiana 108, and New York 106. And on the ice tonight, the Chicago Blackhawks hosted the New Jersey Devils. And hey, I always love to look at highlights of a winner. First period, Steve Ludzik steals the puck. Troy Murray then goes in for a shorthanded breakaway goal past Chico Resch, and it's 1-0 Chicago. Then later in the period, Steve Larmer's shot is stopped. A drive in by DuPont doesn't go in, but finally Al Secord puts in the rebound. The final, the Blackhawks 6 and New Jersey 3. And Bruce in soccer, some bad news tonight. The Sting just can't beat Dallas this year. They lost tonight by a score of 5-4. And for the Bear fans, good news. Buddy Ryan, the defensive coordinator, today signed a new 3-year contract.
Okay, good for him. Thanks, Ken. Investors made an advance in record high ground for Wall Street today, only to dismantle the effort as quickly as they put it together.
Wisconsin is being rewarded for regulating advertising billboards along its highways. The state gets a $273,000 check from the federal government as partial payment of bonus money Wisconsin earned for voluntarily participating in the sign control program. Our top story this evening, high waters have forced some Freeport people from their homes.
And Congress finally comes up with funds for farmers, but will the president veto? That's it. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.